Are you ready to uncover the mystery of the screaming mummy? This ancient Egyptian relic has puzzled researchers for centuries, with its twisted and contorted body, an eerie, open-mouthed scream. But what secrets does this mummy hold, and why was it buried in such a disturbing manner? Join us as we delve into the history and theories surrounding this fascinating artifact, and discover the truth behind the screaming mummy. The mummy that has come to be known as the Screaming Mummy was discovered at the tomb of Deir el-Bahari in Egypt in the year 1886. It is also known as the Unknown Man. It is thought that the mummy originates from the 21st dynasty of ancient Egypt, which occurred approximately 1000 BC. Because the corpse is twisted and distorted in an unnatural posture, and its mouth is wide open, as if it was screaming, the mummy is often referred to as the Screaming Mummy. The twisted aspect of the mummy's face, which includes the mouth being wide open and the eyes seeming to be protruding out as if in a state of anguish, has contributed to the creepy appearance of the mummy, as well as the mystery that surrounds it. Both the manner in which the person died and the identification of the mummy remain a mystery. Some people believe that the mummy was once a nobleman who suffered a difficult death or was afflicted by an illness before being buried in an agonized manner. It is possible that he suffered from a disorder known as Marfan syndrome, which causes the limbs, fingers, and toes to become abnormally lengthy. This ailment might have been the source of a great deal of discomfort for him. Others believe that the individual was a criminal who was sentenced to be buried in such a deformed posture, as a type of afterlife retribution for the crimes he committed during his lifetime. However, none of these hypotheses are supported by any evidence that can be considered conclusive. Edward R. Atom, an archaeologist from the United Kingdom, and Theodore M. Davis, a lawyer from the United States, made the discovery of the Screaming Mummy in 1886 when they were engaged on an excavation at the Deir el-Bahari tomb in Egypt. Although it was thought that the tomb belonged to a nobleman called Amenhotep, the mummy that was discovered within could not be positively recognized as Amenhotep. Instead, it was given the moniker Unknown Man, and ever since then, it has been the focus of several hypotheses as well as much investigation. The renowned Egyptologist Zahi Hawass and Sahar Salim, a professor of radiology at Cairo University, who specializes in scanning mummies, collaborated on a research project that solved the mystery of the mummy of the Screaming Woman. According to Hawass, who was interviewed by Aram Online, the CT scan and subsequent analysis that was performed on the corpse indicated that the Egyptian princess had suffered from significant atherosclerosis of the coronary arteries, which ultimately led to her untimely death from a heart attack. He said that the ancient Egyptian embalming technique had managed to retain the princess's position as she lay in her coffin when she passed away. According to Hawass, the events that led up to the discovery of the royal cachette of Deir el-Bahari in Luxor in 1881 were the impetus for the beginning of the tale. It was here where priests of the 21st and 22nd dynasties concealed royal family members from earlier dynasties so that tomb robbers wouldn't find them and steal their remains. Recent research using CT scans and DNA, carried out by the scientific team of the Egyptian Mummy Project, proved that the mummy is that of Pentuer, son of King Ramses II. Pentuer was forced to commit suicide by hanging as a punishment for his involvement in the killing of his father, which is known as the Harem Conspiracy. The mummy was discovered in a tomb in the Valley of the Kings in Egypt. His corpse was wrapped in a sheep hide, which suggests that he was regarded unclean, and that his destiny was to be punished in the hereafter. The punishment for the homicidal son was that he was not embalmed. Instead, his body was wrapped in the skin of a sheep. Other mummies were given careful attention before being wrapped in white linen and mummified. The same royal cachette at Deir el-Bahari also held a mummy of a lady who showed evidence of dread, suffering, and opened her lips as if screaming. As a result, this mummy is sometimes referred to as the Mummy of the Screaming Woman. In an effort to unravel the riddle, Hawass and Salim conducted research and used a CT scanner to analyze the mummy, both of which were carried out in the Egyptian Museum. On the mummy's linen wrappings were ancient hieroglyphic writings that read, "The royal daughter, the royal sister of Meret Emun." These writings were found on the ancient Egyptian language. Meret Emun was the name of multiple princesses throughout Egyptian history, including Meret Emun, daughter of King Seqenenre of the end of the 17th dynasty, 1558 to 1553 BC, and also Meret Emun, daughter of King Ramses II, 1279 to 1213 BC, from the 19th dynasty. However, the mummy was considered unknown, and was therefore designated the mummy of the unknown woman A, as there were many princesses with the same name. The findings of the CT scan point to the mummy of the Screaming Lady, being the remains of a woman who was in her 60s when she passed away. The body of the lady, in contrast to that of Pentuer, underwent an effective mummification process. As a consequence of this, it is quite clear that the events leading up to her passing are not the same. According to Hawass, the findings of the CT scan point to the fact that the mummy was suffering from a serious degree of atherosclerosis, which impacted a great deal of the body's arteries. He adds that atherosclerosis is a degenerative disease that damages the artery wall in a gradual manner, resulting in a narrowing of the chamber and a blockage of the channel. The CT scan revealed that she had atherosclerosis in her right and left coronary arteries, arteries in her neck, arteries in her abdominal aorta, and iliac arteries, and arteries in her lower limbs. She also had atherosclerosis in her iliac arteries. In the contemporary era, cardiac disorders, and particularly coronary artery disease, are the most common cause of unexpected death in adults. It seems as if the Screaming Lady passed away unexpectedly while maintaining the body position in which she was found, with her legs contracted and crossed. As a direct result of her passing away, her jaw was slack, and her head was cocked to the right side. According to Hawass, we are making the assumption that the dead corpse of the Screaming Lady would not have been found until hours later, enough time for rigor mortis to occur. Since the corpse of the Screaming Lady was found in a contracted state, we believe that the embalmers mummified it before it deteriorated or became more relaxed. Because of this, the embalmers were unable to seal the lips shut or place the constricted body in the condition of laying down, as was typical with the other mummies. This prevented them from retaining her facial expression and posture at the moment of her passing, as he said. Thank you for watching our video. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more great content like this.